So scores have come out in South Africa today in March in justice for Cwecwe. We currently have been bringing you live visuals from Ebisho in the Eastern Cape, and now we take you to KZN, where Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise is following that march in Durban. Nobuhle, very good afternoon to you. We're seeing many have come out this afternoon in support of Cwecwe. A lot of civil society organizations voicing out how they feel over the scourge of GBV in our country.
Indeed, you're right, Katla. People came out in their numbers. This particular march here in Durban started at the Gugudlamini Park and then all the way to the education offices here in Truro Road. And basically what they want, they're calling for the arrest of the principal at the school where the child is said to have been raped. Now, we know that the details, according to the mom who went on social media, was that there were 3 people who could have possibly done this at the time as she was drugged. And this is information that comes from the mother. And when she woke up, she didn't know what had happened to her, but she did indicate that she was in pain. And this is when her parents took her to a doctor and found out that she had indeed been raped. And we know that the principal for the school has refused to give their DNA, also seeking the support of organizations like AfriForum. And now the part of the memorandum that the people here in KwaZulu-Natal, one of those demands that they are stating is that they want the principal of the school to be arrested. I want to bring into the conversation someone from the eThekwini civil society movement just to speak to us about those demands that they have in the memorandum. Thank you very much. You're live on Newzroom Afrika. Maybe, what is part of the memorandum that you have handed over to the education department here in KwaZulu-Natal?
No, thank you so much, Umuntu Abongi Tubika. I'm from Ethekwini Civil Society Forum, Umuntu, firstly, I must first appreciate the time and the energy of people of KZN by standing up for justice for Cwecwe. One of our demands, number one, was to say Stella principal arrest with immediate effect. For us, taking 5 months for a person DNA, that's not justice. In fact, we red tape for justice. So the person must be arrested with immediate effect. That's number one. Number two, not only just the principal, the caretaker. The caretaker must also answer, because the person is responsible. Is the person cleaner class after school is mayor. So as people, as civil society, especially also accompanied by, I wouldn't actually leave them outside, officials of KZN. We had a member of parliament as a KZN. We had people from office mayor and also we had a lot of civil society members coming from other districts, about district chairpersons within civil society, who stood up from their district, but support to say as for justice for Cwecwe.
Because perhaps the reasoning behind coming to the education department and not, for example, going to the justice department or the police, because this is where most of the issue comes from, where there's been a delay. Justice has been delayed in this case. The reasoning behind coming specifically to the education department here in KwaZulu-Natal, because it did look like they were also taken aback and didn't actually know how to respond to this, as you heard them say this did not happen in this province.
That's actually the whole idea why we first came to Department of Education. It happened in their premises. They were the first department that was supposed to champion this case and make sure that justice is served. So they delayed the process. We also count them with the police to say, if it wasn't for social media, a hype that actually happened for us to know as far as we're far from where the incident happened, but through social media, in Eastern Cape. And right there in their school, even the board of the school had a nerve to write a letter to protect the principal. That means the whole system of education doesn't take us serious. I mean, we are parents and also we are activists, so we wouldn't take that for granted.
Do you want to zoom in perhaps into the issues here in the KwaZulu-Natal province when it comes to learners and their safety? Do you feel that if something were to happen of that nature here, would see things playing out the way they're playing out at the moment?
Here in KwaZulu-Natal is one thing is clear now, and we mean it. If anyone that's still thinking of doing such thing in the premises of school of KZN, whether it's ECD, whether it's primary school or high school, or even our universities, we only have one call to make, and the person will see justice.
Thank you very much. Goskona Mbongoso, who is from the eThekwini Civil Society Forum, and he's just speaking to us around those demands that they had here that they've handed over to the education department, and them just saying it can't be that things are going as normal when there's a child whose justice has been delayed or denied.